How we're gonna start out.
Welcome to the Creativity Show at the Emerald Lady. I'm Clare Cooley, author, artist, creativity coach.
Okay.
Bodie Werner, my son, is the techie, and he's sharing this to a number of different places as we speak. This is a live read from my memoir, Incandescence Rising Above Darkness, and it's going to be a tour for the holiday decor, sharing the spirit of this season with all of you. I like to show how I've done my ecological, economical decor for the gift giving season. So we're going to take you all the way up to the third floor before we start the reading. And I want to thank you for being here and telling your friends about it. They'll be every Saturday at 2 o'clock Central Time. I'm also starting my blogs this last week. I put up my first blog post about writing, why write and what to write and how to do it. So they'll come out every Monday. The video will be out soon for that. And you can see any of these live reads anytime you like. Share it with your friends on incandescencebook.com. And we're so grateful you're here, and really want to thank the Minnesota State Arts Board for awarding me a grant to do these live reads. And so let's start with a tour of the Emerald Lady in her gift-giving season splendor. This is Bodie Claus here.
Happy holidays, Erica Bree said. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Erica. Thank you for being here, everybody, and especially thanks for sharing this very important day.
Yeah.
Around the world, people celebrate in different ways, and we celebrate by decorating, bringing light and color into our home, and I'd love to make ecological, economical gifts and share decorating and gift making ideas with you. So let us...
Yeah, so now I'm gonna unplug this and we're gonna start walking around, so bear with us. Let's make sure we're still going live. Are we still live? We're still live. Everything is working. So we're gonna get mobile here real quick. Okay. Whoa. Oh, it's a bit heavy. There we go.
There we go. Well, we're a do it all of ourselves. I like to call us the DIY Not duo. Bodie, the storyteller, movie maker, and I'm a multi-artist. I love to make anything I need in life, just for the fun and the creativity. So let's check out the living room since we're in here. And
every once in a while, I'm just gonna peek around and make sure you guys are still there. Yep, we're still live. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, so let's start with this historic home that's we got to restore ourselves, and this historic rookwood tile was the thing that we knew we were going to keep. And I love my book of cranes stretched out on top of the fireplace there, and the origami crane decor with the silver and red origami cranes, and the deer basket. And deer is a beautiful symbol for this season for me. And I just love to change it up every year using the same materials so that it always looks new and feels fresh without any big expense, and nothing goes in the landfill. It all gets reused and appreciated. So let's check out we have a thing for nutcrackers. Bodie got one every year growing up, and until a few years ago. We're always still growing up. Some of us, like myself, never become, hopefully, not childlike.
You're never gonna grow up, in other words.
Yes, I'm having my happy childhood now. So here's our nutcracker, and
Let me adjust. Yeah, show us, pick stuff up.
Okay, well, here's this guy. I like how subtle he is. He's very elegant. And the nests and eggs and my cranes, which are the most recurring subject matter of my art, though I am inspired by everything from insects to outer space. And like I said, I like to design furniture and paint screens. And here's the creativity cabinet. Started as an entertainment with the regular entertainment stuff in it, VCR and television and all of that. And then once Bodie grew up and it was time for it to become the true entertainment, our own imagination cabinet. So it's got musical instruments, books, all sorts of different artistic projects. So let's take this upstairs and show you some more. Here's the receiving gallery first that has my prints that we make here at the Emerald Lady, because Bodie's so technically facile. He makes these museum quality numbered and signed prints of my art, and we have my stationery and my book of cranes and my...
Show us.
Sure, come on in. So here's the book of cranes, and it spreads out as you saw across the mantle. And I have, maybe 600 different pieces in my portfolio, so these prints are a way to share it all. This I treasure is little handmade ornaments my mother and sister made years ago. And yeah, so there's lots to take in. And
show us the nutcrackers.
The nutcrackers, they are our little army of joy. They're the army that protects fun in life. This guy's a drinker, so he always falls over. Yeah, so we love the nutcrackers. Let's show the dining room decor. Oh, these ribbons, my ribbon jellyfish are ribbons that I saved because I don't like to throw anything away that can become useful. So this year I figured out, put them in arrangements, take them out of those storage containers and make decor out of them. So we get the green and red there, we've got the gold here, and upstairs you'll see some more. This was on the chandelier tree now are little ornaments that were hanging, and I thought a little cluttered on our wall sconces, so I put them on this tree, and now it's an upside down chandelier on the table. But you get to use your imagination and have fun using it, express yourself. And I just put little paper that on these LED lights, and that works for me. And here
we'll turn that one off, and then we can actually see it because it's a little too bright.
Okay. See, it's just paper that softens the light with a little washer on top to keep it on there. I like to just play with everything that is just an opportunity to express my creativity and have a little fun doing it. So here's a display that's got a glass Christmas tree, and these little stones were actually removed when I picked up beach glass years ago from a beach that all this trash from a dump up the shore, washed up on, and I took the glass and said, bless you.
Ho, ho, ho.
Said, bless you, Santa. So the glass went in these jars for this display, and the stones went in that for that display. So cattails, and yeah, I like to use simple stuff. Here we have a hornet's nest and the gold jellyfish with the ceramics that I carved, crane habitat, crane. It's on each of the 15 dinner plates is a different crane, and it's all their marshland habitat. So there's 202 hand carved, each one unique, thrown by my stepsister out in California. And so I just like to make anything that I can for the fun of it. So let's
Let me take a peek here, see how we're doing. Shelly Ann, I love that you shared your true entertainment unit.
thank you.
Thank you. Yep. Just checking.
Thank
Hey
you.
there. Yep, I'm just going to be checking in every once in a while because I'm behind the camera. And yes.
I
All
wish
right.
I wish you all could see. He's carrying around a laptop that has 2 iPhone.
Well, show them in the mirror.
There you go. Show them.
Here's a good way to see it. So here's the rig we're carrying around because we're streaming on Facebook through the laptop, YouTube through this iPhone, and Instagram through this one. So hey, however you get the shot, you get the shot.
That's right. And then he gets to, when we come down from the tour, set this on this, and Bodie, of course, came up with this. He's as creative as I am, and mostly, his area is technology, so he made this plate that it's on that goes on here, and then he can teleprompter the story I'm going to read today, so I don't have to memorize it. And here's our
Make this a little bigger, a little easier for you.
here's our Christmas tree that I call the all-season tree because every season we change the decor because I just love the lights in the center of this grand staircase. So we change it, and in spring it'll be something entirely different. So let's go upstairs. And here's our tradition of using the same bags and tissue paper every year so nothing goes in the landfill. And most of these gifts are practical. I mean, we're happy just to give ourselves and each other items that other people might think are silly, but we love to wrap up our boba tea or our green tea or even cornstarch. And so it's not expensive, but it's very festive. So
Yeah.
the back of the tree is totally different than the front because, I give myself permission to try new things all the time. So this time I tried, let's do the dragonfly gold stars on the back of the tree, and I like it.
If anybody's having trouble connecting on Instagram or YouTube, you can go over to Facebook. It's on Clare Cooley's profile. So just type in Clare Cooley on Facebook or The Creativity Show, because we're moving about the house, and so it might pause on Instagram or YouTube, but go watch it on Facebook. It should be fine.
Yeah. So as we're going up the stairs, here is a collection of more cranes. I do paint everything from insects to outer space, as I said, but I love cranes, and so this is my frame design, my scroll frame design, and these are the prints we make here at the Emerald Lady. Come on up, and we'll take you on a little tour. I like to show them looking down from here. This is one of my favorite spots, is looking down from up here.
All right. This is a little scary.
The cameraman has his comfort level. We're not hanging that over that drop. So here's our hall I like to call little space, big space, because it's full of, here's a couple of, let me turn this light on, original outer space paintings. And then there's a whole collection of, this one's called Heavenly Bodies. There's a whole collection of space little prints. And we'll show the Forever Spring Room is our guest bedroom that works for yoga or relaxation on the massage pad here, and it's full of my warblers and wildflowers. And this is another frame design of mine that is little hand-painted dowel frames with our smallest prints in them. And my stenciled pillows, and you know, I just like to keep having fun and keep being creative. So come on in.
Yeah.
All right, and this is something I'm very proud of. This silly little sewing closet that was just a funky little closet. Now it's a sewing room. And upstairs.
We got this accent lighting that goes down and up the stairs.
Yes, and that goes down actually to our shops in the cellar, which we won't show today, but on another show we'll do that. Let's come on up. More of my art in the as a visitor friend once said, the Emerald Lady is like a living museum with the heart of a home, because I get to put my art everywhere and we get to have different creative projects in every space. And this is a space I use a way to express their creativity for joy, healing, or business. Bodhi's help some of them make websites to turn their creative ideas that I help them unearth into businesses. So, a little kitchen.
So if you want to learn more about creativity coaching, just send her a message or an email, clarecooleycollection@gmail.com.
As much as I love creating myself, I love helping other people find their joy in creativity and their confidence to express it and the courage to share it. So here's a little table we made so that it fits in this small space without making it feel smaller, and we made these little tables for this guest bedroom. And our little bathroom, we did the same thing because these little corner spaces don't get smaller with these little triangle tables, and our little touch of holidayness here, and our sea creature theme in here with sea turtles and seahorses and seashells. You can show. This is all done with my stencils and on the shower curtain and the turtles above. So little accents that make it feel loved. Okay. All right, you can walk through and I'll unplug things, because one of the things I like to do is have lights on in areas we're not in. So I'll catch up.
You ready?
You take them downstairs and I'm following. Catching up. That way, no waste.
All right, come on in here and talk to them while I get this hooked up.
Yeah. So, so it turns out that's a little bit heavy to carry around the house, but Santa Claus is sturdy. So,
Santa Claus is a fan of hard work.
right. So now he's gonna get things hooked up. Before I start reading from my memoir, I'm going to share this, which is my little box of little friends that this one my mother gave me when I was 30 years old, saying, "You're finally old enough to be young." I was a serious child. I had a serious upbringing where I don't remember a single Christmas, birthday. I don't remember any holidays because they were traumatic times for my alcoholic father and my asthmatic, kind mother. So I survived by just not thinking about them. So it's very wonderful now to have my happy childhood at this age where I totally appreciate it. And my son, who gets me these wonderful characters that I love, Shaun the sheep and No Name from Spirit,
Face.
huh?
No face.
No Face from Spirited Away, and Felix the cat, the only character from my childhood that I can remember seeing, in his bag of tricks that he could just pull anything he needed out of that. And here's a crane puppet that was given to me by an aviculturist at the International Crane Foundation. And oh, here's Totoro from Spirited Away no, from Totoro. And here's my little panda. So these are my buddies, and I love that I didn't have a single toy in my childhood that I can remember, and I'm pretty sure that it's because I didn't have any. But now I'm having my happy childhood, so it's never too late. So, are we ready for?
One more minute.
He's going to get my, teleprompter up with the story I'm going to read, which is about my childhood. As I said, I don't remember a single Christmas or birthday or any holiday, so I couldn't write a story that I didn't experience in my memoir, so there aren't any stories about those sorts of things. So to pick a story to read for today, I asked Bodie to help me, and he picked the story Under the Boat, which I'm about to read. And all my stories are short. I like short stories, and I like to put my art in between them. So we're all busy. We all have complex lives. Everybody does. So I like to give people a whole little chunk of something to feel and think about in a short period of time. I have a publisher friend who calls me the distiller. I like to distill things, and so.
Do you want me to just skip right to the story?
No, let me read this part, and then we'll do the story. So, happy holidays and peace on earth. As the shortest day and the longest night of the year pass, people celebrate the light increasing all around the world by harvesting, feasting, decorating, and giving gifts. There are over 4,200 different religions in the world, but spiritual leaders pretty much all teach us to live in respect for each other, all life, and our precious planet. And diversity is an indicator of the well-being of the environment including humanity. What we have in common is more important than our differences. Good people around the world want peace. Let's celebrate diversity and increase peace on earth. Thank you for being here for this live reading virtual visit. It really does feel like I'm visiting with you, which really is very heartwarming, and I really appreciate having this way to connect with you. And I once again want to express my gratitude to the Minnesota State Arts Board for awarding me a grant to do these live readings every Saturday at 2 Central Time through February. And my blog posts about writing, designing, editing, formatting, and publishing your own works, hoping to inspire you to share your writing, and even if it's just with yourself. Feel free to write any comment in the comment bar or text any questions you have, and I'll do my best to answer them after the reading from my memoir, Incandescence Rising Above Darkness, which has 52 stories and 68 pieces of art and 40 photographs of me doing different artistic projects, because I am a multi-artist. As I've said, the paperback is in full color and black and white versions, can be ordered at any major bookstore or at your local bookstore or online at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart. So it's easy to get. There's also an ebook version that's available on Amazon, Amazon Kindle, or Kobo. Kobo. And the link is in the description. If you give stars to this live stream, it helps support this work, and we really appreciate it. I hope sharing my stories and art can help you strengthen your connection to your creativity, your confidence to express it, and the courage to share it. Creativity can help us feel joy, enhance our lives, solve our problems, and heal our wounds. Writing is healing as we express feelings and stimulate our immune system. Invite your critical mind to chill and invite the creative mind to play. I not only want to share my stories, but my appreciation for writing as a way to talk to the person who has the best chance of understanding us and helping us ourselves. Writing and reflecting on it is a way to come to more deeply know the person who will always be with us, us. We can be our own sacred witness by telling our truth. Blank pages can be a safe place to receive anything we need to say. Writing does not judge us. Writing can hold all our feelings and secrets until and unless we're ready to share them. Writing can be therapy to express what may be too tender to be spoken. What we write has no limits other than our own willingness to explore ourselves. When we write what is on our minds and follow its lead, we can go somewhere yet unexplored. So I hope that you feel free, feel inspired, feel informed by these readings to undertake enjoying the joy of creativity yourself. So I'm going to share art after I read this story, the art that's in before the story and after the story in the book. I put my art in the book. It was very important to me, not because it has any literal connection, almost in no stories, to the story, but because it's how I found peace and joy and contemplating nature and living in creative reverie whenever possible to get through my adversity. And so that's what I most want to share with others, a way to get through the tough times. So here we go. Chapter 7, Under the Boat. My mother asked the next door neighbor to check on us before she got home from work and my father got home from the bar. I would get home first, Minutes after I heard the school dismissal bell in the distance, I would run into the house to be alone for a few minutes in the bedroom I shared with my two sisters. The neighbor would call out as soon as she saw me go into my house, "What are you doing?" I would yell out the window, "Cleaning my room," and she would let me be. Then I would take the old shoebox out from under my bed, opening my treasure chest with the care equal to its precious contents. It was full of rough and shiny stones, round, oval, and wing-shaped seeds, white, pink, and orange seashells, and a blue jay, crow, and sparrow feathers. Every day I would examine and admire each item as if it was the first time I saw it before adding something new. This daily ritual ended with me carefully closing the box to put it back under my bed where no one ever looked. Then the ritual would continue with me changing into one of the two hand-me-down black leotards I got from my cousins who took ballet. The box of nature's jewels, the two leotards, and a few normal clothes were my only possessions. Each day during my bath, I washed the leotard I wore while I danced in the backyard before anyone came home. The leotard would dry overnight, hung over the shower curtain, while the dry one from the day before was placed under my pillow. One day, the leotard I hung up the evening before was not on the shower curtain rod where I'd left it. I put on the other one and went outside before anyone else came home, as I did every day. The next door neighbor was at her kitchen sink doing the dishes as I walked by. She looked at me like she saw a ghost and dropped what she was washing. I realized she didn't know I had two identical leotards. She must have come into the house and taken the one drying on the curtain rod. She could not figure out how I could be wearing it, and she could not contain her surprise. I think she just wanted me to fit in and be like the other girls and wear dresses. She looked scared, and I knew she had taken the leotard. I said nothing as usual and went to the backyard. I had once played with her daughter, Trina, who kept dressing and undressing her dolls. They felt strange and smelled unpleasant. Their clothes were rough, busy patterns of bright colors that were not lovely to me. Trina always wore a cowgirl outfit with a holster and gun on each hip. She wanted me to play the Indian because I had dark hair. She wanted me to play dead when she shot me. I slipped away as soon as Trina's friend came in, and I did not play with her again. I was comfortable being outside with the crickets and grasshoppers. It was not lonely for me to be alone. It seemed to me people were confused, and nature was not. People did not always tell the truth, and nature never lied. In natural places, things felt real. Among people, things often felt false. Every day, Trina's brother would try to find me. Perhaps he wanted to see me dancing in the backyard, but the dances were not for him, so I made sure to do them when he or anyone else, not when he or anyone else were close by. When I heard him coming, I would hide beneath the upside-down fiberglass boat next to the house. There was a small cutout for the outboard motor, which appeared too small for anyone to squeeze through, so he never looked for me under the boat. I loved the way the sun shining through the green fiberglass made the light so soft in my own little world. The pure white grass that grew under the boat was delicate and otherworldly. Everything in this world delighted me. The veins in the leaves and the smell of the soil, all was serenely mysterious. Sometimes I would find albino worms and see-through bugs under the boat. I could lie there peacefully looking at the tiny creatures and plants for however long it took him to look everywhere except where I was. I would wait, knowing sometimes he would come back and check again, but not 3 times. He never found me, which made him angry, and he would slam the gate behind him every day when he gave up looking and went to do something else. When he was gone, I would come out on hot days to do a seal dance in the sprinklers. There was a different dance for every kind of light, every season, every creature, and every mood. I did not practice, repeat, or memorize them. They were natural and came without thought or hesitation, and I loved them all equally. They were meant for a particular moment and only that moment. The dances came like the sun comes to the morning, butterflies to flowers, frogs to puddles. Toys, television, and comic books were not interesting to me. I only remember one toy from my childhood, a panda bear with a music box inside of it my Aunt Jane gave me. I was fascinated by the music box, so I carefully opened the stuffed animal and removed it. I loved watching the tiny metal paddles hitting the spikes on the wheel, and I put the music box in with my other treasures. Toys got broken, lost, taken, or my siblings would fight over them. I was glad I did not care about them. No one else valued my natural things, which filled me with wonder, which gave me comfort and inspiration and caused no conflict. So I could have what I most cared about, peace in nature. While alone in natural places, I became part of whatever surrounded me. I danced with the gentle breeze to the sounds of the birds. Yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing me. It's I think one of the greatest gifts we can receive or give is our presence. So it is the greatest present, our presence. And I'm going to show you some of the art that's in the book. I'm going to ask Bodhi to get it. The Secrets and the Pollinators, yes. So this is a print of one of my outer space.
Let me get it so that you can see.
This is one of my outer space paintings called Seekers. Couple people in a kayak, kayaking toward a Shinto shrine in space. And here are...
Let me hold it a few different angles. So part of the reason there's a reflection, is we have these in archival sleeves. That's what they get delivered in. So we always keep them in archival sleeves because they're UV protection, so the colors never fade.
And archival meaning the paper, inks, and the plastic it's in are all acid-free, so nothing ever yellows and they don't get fingerprints. So once we make prints, we put them in that until they're delivered to whoever ordered them. So you want to do these, and there are 7 pollinators in this series, and this one, Monarch and Milkweed, was the pollinator print of the year in the Pheasants Forever catalog. I'll take that. And so I just picked 7 different creatures that are pollinators and plants that they pollinate to, and they're all regional to this part of the world.
The upper Midwest.
The upper Midwest.
Minnesota and Wisconsin.
And we, yeah. And so one of the things that I'm going to take this chair, can we do that? And Do we have to adjust that?
Yes, we do.
Thank you. One of the things as artists, which is why I've been delighted to live the uncertain economically life of an artist, is because I get to do what I feel is the most important work I can do, which is sharing my love of nature, my respect for nature, and my hope that we can, live in harmony with each other and nature. And so I've been fine my whole life to have the uncertainty of the who knows how we're going to make an income, but I've always trusted we will, and it has worked out, and I am very grateful that I get to do, as I say, the most meaningful work, do what is most gratifying, what I think is the best thing that I can share with the world, my love of nature, my love of life. And I do love people, and I love being a person, but it has not, nature is my muse, and I think it's the master designer, so I love sharing that. And now Bodhi has some questions that people have sent in.
Well, first, Erica Bree, you are amazing, Claire. Thank you. And you and Bodhi are such a present. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Erica. That's a very kind thing to say. You're present in our life too. And
thank you, Erica. And Rose Voyagian on Instagram said, "You are so beautiful, Claire. You are lovely."
thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, thank you. And it's so wonderful, especially during this time of social distancing, that, and any time, but especially now, to Erica's, I think in Spain, and Rose is in Wisconsin with the International Crane Foundation. So it's so wonderful to know, and that's why I made my website, clarecooley.com, years ago, before Bodhi was old enough to even help me technically, but he's made Clare Cooley .com
/shop. clarecooley.com/shop.
He's made a shop of my art. But before he was old enough to help me, I had a vision of a little girl in maybe Uganda that was having a rough life, but she got to go to a little internet cafe in the town close to her and see my art, and it gave her some hope to do hers. And that's when I realized I have to put myself out there, and I'm actually a friendly recluse. I've spent most of my life, 90% of it, in solitude and silence, but I'm embracing the challenge of sharing and speaking up and giving what I most think it can help the world. My love and respect for nature and creativity and all of it. So it's so great to connect with you. And
we got a question from Terry about the ribbon jellyfish. Where did you get the inspiration for the ribbons?
As I've said, I like to save things instead of put them in the landfill. And this year I was looking at these and saying to myself, what can I do with these? And of course I could wrap presents with them, but then whoever I give the present to, then it's most likely going to go in the landfill. So I decided to make decor out of it, and it just came to me that, having the red and the colors of the rainbow. So I did red, yellow, green, blue, and purple. You saw the red and green on the way into the gallery, and the gold yellow on the china cabinet with the crane dishes, and the blue is outside of Bodhi's room, and the purple is outside of my room. So it's also a celebration of diversity and the rainbow and all the colors of the spectrum, making life full and vibrant. So, yeah, the difference between a hoarder and an artist or a creative is organization. So I organize stuff until I get an idea how to use it. And because of the time we're all in together, the world's in, I haven't been in a store in 3 years now. But because I've put away things and I've kept them nice, I haven't run out of projects, lighthearted projects in between, sometimes heavy writing, sometimes mentally challenging painting. I do these lighthearted projects, and I still have materials to do that with. And over the years, many people have donated things saying, she'll figure out something to do with it, and sooner or later I do. So, yeah.
So Emily Barnum says, your story you read reminds me of Hayao Miyazaki. The plot has very little drama, but is so engaging.
Well, I've got chills all over right now, because that is one of the greatest compliments a person can give me, because as we see here, we have at least 2 Hayao Miyazaki characters in my treasured friends box here, and I would say that there's no filmmaker that I am more impressed with, because of just what you said. Very, very little happens as far as action, but so much meaning and so much feeling, and I respect simplicity. I think can be the highest art form, because you take away all the extra and you leave only the essence, and that is the love of life. So thank you very, very much for saying that.
That's nice.
Really moving.
P.F. Marvin, not sure if that's the full name or if that's all I'm seeing, says, is your Christmas tree on a table? That was really cool the way you have it. How does that work?
Yes, the tree is on a table, and it's an artificial tree so that I can leave it up, and we've had it for the 7 years we've been in this home, and it's on a table that is the only piece of furniture that I was given by my father from his relatives here in Duluth. My father was born in Duluth, but he didn't really like Duluth, and we love Duluth. I first came when I was 18 to see where he grew up, and I met some wonderful people, and I fell in love with how Minnesota nice, and the nature, and the down to earth and humble and creative, and so we moved back here. And so that table, coming from my relatives, my relative who wrote one of perhaps the first book about Duluth, Recollections of the Early Days in Duluth by Eugene Cooley, was given to me by the woman who lived in the first house we looked at when we were looking for a home. So the synchronicities. And so that table, relatives here in Duluth, the only thing that my father passed to me from them, that the tree in the center of our home is all very spiritually significant to me, and it allows all that space underneath it for the changing decor and for the tree to reach higher up into that space. So thank you for noticing that.
Yeah, that's great. While I look for other questions, says Evelyn Spires watching.
Nice. Hello, Ev. Nice to know you're out there. I do think of these as virtual visits, and even though I can't see you, all of you, I feel you, and especially it's very heartwarming, and I do feel connected to you. And you know, love doesn't have any confines. It doesn't matter how far apart we are, the distance or time. Love connects us, and we are connected.
Yeah, Linda says, you have so many stories. Are you going to write another one?
I am always going to write, and there are stories that, you know, I chose 52, and you have to choose the borders of the painting. If you're doing a painting, you know, you have to have a container for it. So 52 was it, but I found 3 stories I had to put in the book, so I found part 1 and part 2 of 3 stories, so they got included. But there's a lot of stories that couldn't be included, so the answer is yes, I am going to write more stories. And I'm also going to experiment with, based on, my son Bodhi took my my memoir as inspiration to write a screenplay, and I'm going to let him come over and tell you what happened with that, because he's better at this part. But his inspiration of basing it on real stories. So I'm going to experiment with oh, you want to sit with combining real stories with fiction, and
Share the chair.
yeah, we could do that. And I'm going to say that sometimes fiction can tell our truth more than our truth does, because it tells what we're dreaming about, what we're hoping, what we're imagining, instead of just the facts of something that actually happened. So I have respect for fiction, so I might experiment with a combination. But let him tell you about.
Well, the reason my screenplay that I wrote based on her memoir, it says based on her memoir, is because you know, she can only account for the stories the way she saw them, or things that actually happened to her. And in an episodic series, my plan is to explore the family dynamic and the character development of all of the family members. And the theme is the coping mechanisms each family member employs to process and deal with the really difficult home life everybody was going through. And for the protagonist, Claire, it's art and creativity. Because I'm making it up essentially whenever I'm talking about another character, because they haven't written down their life stories for me to use. That's why I say it's based on her life stories, because some of it has to be our best guess, you know?
Yes, well, tell them what happened with.
Yes, so we submitted her book and the screenplay and the TV show pitch that I wrote based on her book to Catalyst Story Institute, which is the world's largest TV festival and institute. and it happens to be headquartered here in Duluth. And all three were selected. So her book was selected, the pilot episode I wrote, and the TV show pitch I wrote based on her book. And they all three will be up for awards in October of 2023 here in Duluth at the big festival party.
Nice. And also at 4 today and every Saturday is the live read of his fictional thriller.
I like to call it a sci-fi horror crossed with a spy thriller.
There you go. Northport 1999, and it's a fictional reimagining of Duluth. So he's written that, and so his literary work, script, and
So the same thing happened for me. I submitted my book and the screenplay and the pitch I wrote based on it. And those were also selected. So that's 6 total for our 2 books and the accompanying TV show pitches.
and it's so fabulous to have these completely different points of view and aesthetics, but to be able to be such unconditionally supportive advocates for each other's creativity. And I wish everybody had that, and I had that with my mother, and I have it with my son, and I feel very, very fortunate. And I hope that you creatives, you who want to be creative, find that there is someone. You may not know who they are, they may not be readily available, but there's someone who believes in you, and you have to keep looking till you find them, and don't let those with hidden agendas diminish your spirit or enthusiasm before you find those sacred witnesses, I like to call them, people that just want you to share and enjoy your own creativity and make the world a better place by sharing it with others. So keep going till you find them.
We believe in you.
We do, and you know, I love to help people get more confident and sometimes find
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
sometimes find what their creativity wants to express, sometimes just figure out a way to fill their life with it, organize their life so they can. How's our time? And
We have 1 minute left till the hour is up.
1 minute, boy, that went fast.
So I'll just get you to the outro.
I'd say that's where we're at. So next Saturday, 2 o'clock, and for mine, today at 4 for his live reading, every Saturday, 2 and 4 Central Time for us, and also on incandescencebook.com, all of them. So
Yes.
meaning all of the videos that we do, so you don't just have to tune in live. You can go back and see the ones you missed or share them with others, and really appreciate it when you share it with others.
Yes, and the blogs about her teaching the writing process and the self-publishing process is on thecreativityshow.com.
There you go. So until next Saturday, happy holidays, find the joy, and stay curious and creative. Thank you so much.
Alrighty. And we're gonna end it now. There you go. It's ending. Ending. Bye, everyone. Great job. And